Hi everyone, welcome back. Oops, I just realized I need to get my light on. There we go. Alright. I have 3 different lights, I have to remember to turn that third one on. Okay, so welcome back. If you were with me recently, I did a video where we made some Bible memory verse cards, and I was going through them. I've been kind of working on learning them. But I wanted to spend some time with Isaiah 43:2. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. And I summarized that as, even if the worst happens, God will be with me. So I have this little verse card, but one of the ways that helps me to learn a verse is to just keep writing it out and write it out. So I wanted to work on writing this verse out again today. And another thing that helps me is to use some art, just some simple drawings of any kind. They don't have to be pretty. I don't claim to be an artist myself, so I'm gonna just do that. I picked out some colors for fire and water, and we're gonna just play with this verse a little bit and see what we can come up with. Okay, let me move these to the side. Okay, so I don't have a plan in mind. I'm kind of just winging this. I'm going to start, I think, by writing out the verse, and then we'll add some art around what I've written. I think that's maybe the best way to approach this. Okay, making sure the camera's going and everything. Okay, let's get started. In fact, I'm going to be a little bit artistic maybe with the verses here too. When you go through deep waters, so I went light blue, I got deeper blue as it got to the deeper waters, okay? That was my thinking, at least. I will be with you. Okay. Okay, so that's the first half of the verse talks about water. So I'm going to do water on this side and fire on this side, okay? So I'm going to pause here and try to think of a way to convey some art stuff here. I'm trying to decide whether I want to draw like an ocean or rivers of difficulty, first of all. It's open to interpretation however you want to do the art. If you're doing this along with me, feel free to draw however it comes to mind to you. But I like the idea of the deep waters, so I think I can do both here, I think. Okay, and then I just made the blue get darker as the water gets deeper. And I was gonna I think I can do something like this. I was at first thinking it was gonna be a river, but now it looks more like a waterfall. And that's fine, it's just water. We're just playing. You know what I feel like doing? Don't know if I can do this very well. Actually, I think he needs a darker eye. Make a little rubber ducky. There. Okay. Little rubber ducky floating on the water there. So now we're going to do the second half of the verse over here. When you walk through fire, when you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned out of the flame. Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay. I'm estimating how many colors I have to work with and how many phrases I have to write. When you walk through the fire of oppression, comma, not Okay, now let me make sure the camera's still, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'll show you up closer in a minute. Okay, now for the fun part. We're gonna make flames. Yes, I'm basically just scribbling. Just to put down some color for now. And we'll get a little, might be able to fine tune this a little bit as I go. Just filling up the blank space here for the moment. Okay, you're gonna witness something that I don't do in public very often. I'm gonna draw people. And you'll find out very quickly that my stick figures are influenced by Picasso. Okay. Okay, now, in case you're wondering why I drew 4 stick figures, this reminds me of, in the book of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego get thrown in the fiery furnace, and a 4th person, who represents Jesus, was in the fire with them. And so they were not alone. And that just conjured that up, and we'll come up with a verse for that in a minute, but let me write, since I nowhere here have written the verse number, Isaiah 43:2. And maybe up here. Let me look up a verse for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Chapter 3. Full chapter. Let's call it Sorry, I'm scanning the chapter to find the... Okay. Threw him in the furnace. People died. Suddenly... Didn't we throw 3 men? Yep. Suddenly Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in amazement and exclaimed to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them into the furnace?" "Yes, your majesty, we certainly did," they replied. "Look," Nebuchadnezzar shouted, "I see 4 men unbound walking in the fire unharmed, and the 4th looks like a god." So I'm going to put Daniel chapter 3, 25. Okay, let's try this. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and we'll just put God. Okay, so I'll show you this up closer. Like I say, you don't have to be an artist to do this sort of thing. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I can't do art stuff, because I can't do art stuff either, but here I am doing art stuff, okay? Let me grab a quick drink. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. And I put a little rubber ducky to remind me that I will not drown. I'll be floating on top of it. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. And then Isaiah 43:2. I put down here Isaiah 43:2. Then I made, look at those, look, marvelous works of art. Brilliant stick figures. God, probably the best stick figures I've ever drawn in my life. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and God was with them in Daniel 3:25. How was that for on-the-fly, cross-reference, just making it up as I go? I hadn't even thought about using that cross-reference until I was making that. When I was making all the flames for it just reminded me of the fiery furnace. So there you go. Feel free to just take a verse and just kind of be artistic in whatever way that looks for you. You don't have to be, I know you see all the time on YouTube all of the beautiful art that people do, and most of us go, that's not me. But I want you, one reason I'm willing to show you my ugly art is because you don't have to be an artist to just have fun with it. And the fact of drawing this, like the blue on this side and the fire on this side, the water and fire, it helps put the verse together in your memory and in your heart, and it creates an image that you will recall days, weeks, months later, perhaps even years later. And this is just another way of being able to work with the Bible in non-traditional ways to help. The main idea is your word I've hidden in my heart, and if a little bit of art using different senses helps get that in your heart, that's a great way to do it. Don't be afraid to play with art and make ugly art, because the goal is not to make beautiful art. The goal is to get God's word into your heart, okay? Heart and art rhyme together, don't they? Alright, that's all I have for you for this time. I will see you in a future video. Thanks for watching. Bye.